Welcome to the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main, president of Main Financial Group, as well as joined by Adam Freund, partner at Main Financial Group. To our viewers at home, we can't thank you enough for being with us again today on the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. And today's topic is one that should hit home. There is a difference between financial sales and good, solid financial advice. And do you know how to spot the difference? Today, we're going to spend some time really talking about what the difference is and why having solid financial advice is a benefit to you and actually a blessing in your retirement years. Jordan, how are you today?
I'm excited about today's show. Happy to be here. How are you?
Wonderful and excited to be with you as well. So excited about today's show. Thank you for asking. Adam, how are you?
Me? I'm balanced today.
You're balanced?
Well, rebalanced.
Okay.
I think you're imbalanced.
You're rebalanced, but you're also looking mighty spiffy, okay? And also, you are wearing the colors, and is this by chance for the Seattle Seahawks?
No, I just did this randomly. Yes, I know they won the Super Bowl, and which was only, a month ago. But I did not do this this is just by accident, folks.
Did you like the game?
Oh yeah, I rooted for the Seahawks.
Okay.
Yeah, there might be some subconscious subliminal messages going on here.
Maybe.
I love it. Well, I'm so excited about today's show because we have often heard people actually talk about, well, I don't know if I'm being sold a bill of goods or if I'm getting solid financial advice. But before we dive into that main topic, I have kind of a fun question for you.
Okay.
You always do.
I know, right? I wonder where I get these from. It's amazing. So when you are looking to purchase something big, do you research it to death or do you just go out and buy it? Adam, I'm going to ask you first. I usually ask Jordan, but let me ask you first today.
Believe it or not, I research it. I do.
Okay.
Especially if it's a big purchase, a car, a TV, something. Although nowadays TVs are so inexpensive, you don't really have to research it that much. But yeah, I like reading up on big purchases. Small purchases or something that looks kind of cool. No, not much research. And over the years, I've gotten stung on that too. You buy it, you use it once, it doesn't work.
I love that. And see, you do that with movies too. You read all the reviews first before you go.
Absolutely.
So that tells me a lot about you.
Yeah.
Jordan, what do you think? What do you do?
Well, I do the research, but I don't do the research. I've got a great, let's just talk about the cars. I have a great friend, John, that I went to college with, who is an engineer at Chrysler. And whenever I want to buy a new car, I'm like, Johnny, this is what I'm looking at. And he'll go and analyze everything, and then I end up buying it. But when it comes to TVs, I have no control, complete impulse buyer.
Yeah,
Costco, when you walk in, a whole line of TVs.
Nowadays, yeah.
I would say 1 in every 4 trips I go to Costco, I'm coming home with a TV. Drives my wife nuts.
Oh my gosh, that is funny.
Another
But when the
100-inch?
prices are so good.
Well, we talked about this on our radio show the other day.
Yeah.
Over the last 20 years, all the things that have gone up with inflation, right? We were looking at healthcare and tuition and all these things. How about some of the things that have gone down dramatically in cost? TVs and actual cell phones.
Cell phones, TVs was number one. It's down. Think about it. Year 2000, how much did you pay for a TV in year 2000?
We just went, we bought our new office at the end of 25, our new building, and we had to outfit it with TVs.
Yeah.
65-inch TVs, beautiful Samsung TVs at Costco for $200.
I mean, how can you, right. What about you? Are you a planner? Are you a reviewer? What do you do?
No, I'm an impulse buyer. If I want something, I just go out and get it. And do I have regrets sometimes after the fact? Yes. My husband teases I'm a gadget girl. So if I see something new that everybody is talking about, I'll get it. But then I'm like, oh, did I really need that? And maybe I don't like it as much as I thought.
Okay,
I was
so
going to.
Truth be known, we're gadget guys too.
Okay.
We love gadgets.
Gadgets are fun.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
The worst is the social media where they get the advertise, the ads that pop up. You just hit the button and you Apple Pay it, and it comes to the house 3 days later, what have you, and then you realize, boy, this quality is terrible.
I have been burnt by that more than once. I'm learning my lesson.
He once made me buy a stamp for his golf balls. Do you remember this?
I did, yeah.
And he said, "Oh, see if you can do it." So I got different stamps. I gave it to him.
It was an ad that popped up, and I forwarded it to him. I'm like, "Hey, research this, will you?"
Get this for me. And it was inexpensive, so I got it. He used it. I don't think ever. He just all of a sudden one day it ended up on my desk again.
Yeah, I said, take this back. Wait a minute, do we have a financial show?
No,
we actually do. So let's talk about that. We're talking about the importance of getting real, true financial advice, fiduciary advice, if you will, versus being sales advice. And boy, there is a difference. Adam, let me ask you about that. When you think about it, what comes to mind when I think of fiduciary advice? What should I be thinking?
Well, you know, the funny thing is nowadays they've done a study. The American dream, I've got it written down here, costs $5 million, just in general. Of that $5 million, 1.6 of it is their retirement. And the number one thing that people want, the number one, is retirement, to live in retirement. So choosing a company that is a fiduciary versus somebody that's just trying to sell you something becomes very paramount, right?
Absolutely.
And there are some telling signs. If they're only talking product, that's can be an issue.
Yeah, I think you can tell right away if you're dealing with a salesperson or a fiduciary investment advisor that is doing what's in your best interest, because the investment advisor has to have an understanding of what your goals are, asking a lot of questions. You would be doing most of the talking, Cynthia, in that environment. In a sales environment, the salesperson is already talking solutions before he's even determined what your issues or questions or concerns are. They're going right to product. Wow. And unfortunately, in our industry, we don't do a great job in our industry, right, of deciphering between the two. Who was a licensed captive salesperson? Yep. We have these words: financial advisor, investment advisors, insurance agent, financial consultant. There's all these different words. And for the average person, it's very hard to understand. Am I truly with a fiduciary investment advisor?
Yes.
And what does that really mean? That means that we have to make recommendations that are in your best interest first.
Yes.
And any of our companies second.
Right.
If I'm just a sales, let's call it a stockbroker for, remember Dean Witter back in the day?
Oh my gosh.
Dean Witter back in the day?
Yeah.
My number one responsibility would be to Dean Witter.
Right.
And to sell you that particular stock. Not whether it's in your best interest or not, I would get a commission. The investment advisor transition, the industry has really moved away from that, more to fee-based planning and fees for advice. And then the advisor, the investment advisor, takes on more liability for that, right? So if we make a bad recommendation to you, you not only can come at our business, you can sue us personally.
Right.
So we take a lot of liability for that. But it's hard for most people sitting in a room with a potential financial person, let's call it, because they could have a number of different types of licenses, to really understand, who am I meeting with?
Right.
Yes.
And if they start off with a sales pitch versus listening, that is a real good telltale sign that you may not be in the right place. And, you know, look, fiduciary is being bantered about now a lot, too. People will claim that they're fiduciaries. You have to have a license to be a licensed fiduciary.
Yes.
And we work in an environment that we all carry a 65, license 65, series 65.
Series 65, yeah.
When you go in, I only know this because I used to work there. When you go into an Edward Jones, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but when you go into an Edward Jones, a Raymond James, a bank, usually you're dealing with somebody that has a Series 7, which tells you that they're a stockbroker. They can have both, because I used to have both, but I always wrestled with, which hat am I wearing? Am I the Series 7 or am I a 65? And that's where you can get into trouble. And if someone's trying to pitch you something, a product, versus listening, we've got two of these and one of these. Your advisor should be listening more than they should be talking.
Yeah, advice should start with understanding.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
100%.
Here's a solution. So, long-winded answer to your question there, Cynthia, but I think it's very important for people to understand who they're in the room with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. And Jordan, I'm so sorry. We do have to take a commercial break, but you have a very special offer to the viewers at home from you and Adam. Let's talk about what that is, please, for a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Today, where anyone can call or click the QR screen and come in and get their own free financial plan, a customized report, your own written financial plan. We call it the RIP report. R-I-P-T. You see Adam's big muscles there. The R stands for risk assessment. How fast or slow are you driving your portfolio? Is it going too slow? Let's speed it up, and vice versa. The I is probably the biggest fear people have. What if I screw up and live too long? Do I have an income plan, or is it more of an income guess? We can help design a roadmap for you. The P is portfolio health. how healthy is that portfolio? Have you done a stress test lately? What are we paying in fees? How's our historical performance been? What sectors are we investing in? And the T is the tax man. Do we have a plan in place to slowly get rid of taxes or completely eliminate taxes in retirement? Those are the 4 crucial areas that we think should be in every written financial plan. So we're willing to do a free financial plan for you and give you a copy of our new, I say new, was the 4th quarter of 2025 book, The Main Street Millionaire, How Real People Build Real Wealth and Keep It. It's a great 300-page financial planning guide to help you get you through retirement.
I love it. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Adam. To the viewers at home, once again, the number to call is 888-462-7839. 888-462-7839. You're calling in today to book your complimentary consultation, of course, with Main Financial Group. And when you do so and come in for your appointment, you will also receive a copy of Jordan's book, The Main Street Millionaire. If you're rushing out the door, we've made it even simpler. Just grab your smartphone, please, and click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That is the fast track to get on the schedule at Main Financial Group. We'll be right back momentarily. Don't go anywhere. We have so much more. How you can decipher between being sold a product and working with a fiduciary. There's a difference. Stay tuned.
I was an accountant by trade out of school, out of Michigan State, and I absolutely hated brokers, financial advisors, whatever they wanted to call themselves. I was a tax accountant, and we would share a mutual client, and this broker would advise our mutual client to buy, sell, and never do any tax strategy, and I was left to clean up the mess. So I went to the client and said, please talk to your broker and tell him to knock this off or begin to do some strategy, and the typical broker response was, I'm not licensed to do that. I can't talk about taxes. So I basically decided to get my investment securities license and all my other licenses out of spite so that we could do all the tax planning as part of the investment strategy for our clients. The value of choice, as we always say, if you go to a big box firm, they're going to have one of 6 portfolios, let's say, and you're going to fit into one of those. The value of working with an independent advisor, especially a fiduciary like we are, is that they have to do what's in your best interest, and they can use any program that's licensed out there in America. So a huge difference. After 20 plus years on this side of the fence, I think our industry does a poor job at explaining to the public the difference of those two. I come from a culture of helping people and educating them, not just telling them what to do. So I think people that truly want to educate make a big difference in this industry.
Welcome back to the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main, president of Main Financial Group, as well as joined by Adam Freund, partner at Main Financial Group. We're talking all about the difference between getting sales advice and getting a financial guidance, if you will, fiduciary advice, and why it's important to you to know the difference. Gentlemen, in this segment, I would love to talk about a very sensitive subject. A lot of people are really confused about fees and transparency and how advisors get paid.
Yeah.
Why can that be such a murky subject? Jordan?
Well, I think our industry does a great job at making it hard to understand, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
We have so many different types of licenses that people can operate in the financial space, and they can get paid in a number of different ways, right? Commissions are things that are maybe not in the client's best interest. And we look through it to say, how do you really dive in to know what we call it all in, right? What is your all in cost?
Yeah.
Morningstar does a great job with this, right? So Morningstar, what do you call it? The JD Powers of our world?
The JD Powers of our industry. Morningstar has no horse in the race whatsoever. They don't care what you're invested in. All they care about is the stock symbol or the mutual fund symbol or the ETF symbol and how many shares you own. So I've had people come in where they've blocked out their dollar amounts. They don't want us to know the dollar amounts. I don't care.
Yeah, that we can go through the fees. And you said mutual fund, and that's great to segue into this from the fee standpoint. So what is a mutual fund? A mutual fund, think about it as a team of PhDs and MBAs on Wall Street in this fund that are buying and selling stocks for you in the mutual fund, right?
Yep.
There are layers of fees inside of a mutual fund, trading costs and other things that go involved with that.
Yeah.
And that's before your advisor gets paid.
Okay.
Right? And so some advisors might charge an annual fee on top of that. Other advisors might be selling a loaded mutual fund where they get a commission. And yet all of that isn't broken down on the statements. right? I think a big help would be if some of these fund companies or brokerage companies made the statements a little easier to read, right?
That's true.
A lot of times they'll just, okay, go to page 72 and you'll see your investment advisory fees, but it doesn't have your mutual fund fees. So at Main Financial Group, we only deal with ETFs, which are exchange traded funds, not mutual funds, and straight stocks to lower the cost.
Correct.
So it is imperative that people know what their all-in cost is on fees, and it's transparent. And if you ask your advisor what your all-in costs are and they hesitate or stutter,
that's a great telltale
please
sign.
call us. We'd love to meet with you.
Yeah, I would also say too that one of the reasons why we shy away from mutual funds is that mutual funds can only be traded at the end of the day. So if something happens in the beginning of the day, let's say, I don't know, China invades Australia or something like that, God forbid.
Yes.
But something happens, you have to wait till the end of the day because inside that mutual fund, they're constantly trading back and forth, so they have to settle at the end of the day.
So you're locked in?
You're locked in.
And you just have to wait.
ETFs and stocks can be traded right away.
Instantaneously. And I think
Wow.
transparency builds trust.
Yes.
Absolutely.
When clients fully
Yes.
understand what they're paying and there aren't any smoke and mirrors and they know exactly what they're going into, now you really can develop that trust, in my opinion, versus some of the other strategies out there.
Yeah,
Makes perfect
100%.
sense. What about complexity should never hide cost? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too, is that we'll see, you know, something that ticks the two of us off like you cannot believe is when somebody comes in and has a managed account and is full of mutual funds. And they're C-share mutual funds. And they were getting way into the weeds. But this is the whole idea, this complexity, when they start to layer upon layer. So they're charging a fee, plus the mutual fund has a fee. And I know, again, from working in the big boxes, they share in those, what they call back-end fees.
Right.
So it can get very, very hairy.
On top of that, we had a client came over, a nice-sized client. We won't name his name, but he came over in a nice portfolio, but over a third of his portfolio were in these private investments. Now, they showed up on his brokerage company, like, oh, this looks like a fund that you could sell, right? They were not. They were private placements and other things that were not, he can't sell them until there's a capital raise to get out of them. So essentially, we're stuck with a third of his portfolio having to sit in these things that are not able to get out of. And when we researched them, they paid a huge commission to his former advisor, broker, whatever you want to call it.
And that was never disclosed to him.
As well as ongoing cost inside of these. So we had said, hey, we'll do the best and try to sell these when they come available, but they're not liquid because they're not publicly traded. Does that make sense? They're privately held. So
complexity right there.
Right, and this particular client had no idea what it was. I don't know. I thought it was like every other fund. So there's an example of the complexity and how fees can get involved.
Yeah.
And really, people need to be able to understand this because we're talking about your financial future, your retirement years. And Jordan and Adam, once again, we're going to go to a commercial break. But in a nutshell, please talk about what the viewers can get today by calling in.
Yeah, exactly what we're talking about today is in a written financial plan to look at, what are we really paying in fees? What are we getting in return for those fees? I guess I don't mind paying a lot of fees, Adam, if the net is high.
100%.
Right, so we're going to give everyone that calls in or clicks the QR code a free written financial plan that's customized to you, our RIP report, a risk assessment to make sure you're taking on the right amount of growth or risk that you want, an income plan, not an income guess. Let's map out all your sources of income. The portfolio health is what we're talking about here in this segment. Let's make sure our fees are low and our performance is good. And the T is taxes. We're going to get into that later, but let's talk about Uncle Sam, getting him out of your pocketbook, and we'll throw a copy of our new book in as well.
I love that, Jordan. Thank you so much. Adam, thank you so much as always. To the viewers at home, the number to call is 888-462-7839. 888-462-7839. You're going to schedule your complimentary consultation with the team of Main Financial Group so they can get to know you one-on-one and have your ripped report designed just for you. And the best part, you will also receive a copy of Jordan's book, The Main Street Millionaire. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on The Main Money Show where Wall Street meets Main Street. But when we come back, we're going to talk about some red flags that you should be aware of, what you should watch for, and how you can pivot around those. Stay tuned. We'll be right back momentarily.
According to a recent Transamerica retirement survey, over 1/3 of American workers have already dipped into their retirement savings to handle day-to-day expenses, and nearly 40% have reduced their contributions.
For those approaching retirement with significant assets, this may sound like someone else's problem, but it's a warning worth noting. Economic pressure doesn't discriminate. High net worth individuals are just as vulnerable to reacting emotionally during times of financial stress.
The key is discipline and a plan that involves with changing circumstances. Having a tax-aware, income-focused, and flexible strategy in place can help you avoid short-term mistakes that impact your long-term goals.
Because real success in retirement isn't just about what you've saved, it's how you protect and use it.
Welcome back to the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main, president of Main Financial Group, as well as joined by Adam Freund, partner at Main Financial Group. And we're talking all about the difference between getting sold financial advice and getting solid fiduciary guidance. There's such a difference, and we thank you so much for being with us today. So, gentlemen, obviously talking about some red flags that people should be aware of. And sometimes people are like, you know what, this doesn't feel right. I can feel something's a little bit wrong here. What are some of the red flags? Adam, let me start with you. What are warning signs?
First of all, if you have that feeling, you should at least take a step back and kind of analyze the situation. I think one of the biggest red flags is if you don't have a written plan. If you just go into a place and say, yeah, I can sell you that, you need a written plan, folks.
Yes.
So that is, I would think that's
I think,
one of the big ones.
Red flags, vague answers. How about that?
Uh-huh.
If you're asking questions in the financial planning meeting and you're not really getting answers, you know, the runaround or whatever you call it.
Yes.
How about pressure to act? Right?
Wow.
You should do this now, pressure. Well, wait a minute. Is that really what's in my best interest? I want to come out of here with understanding, not that I have to take action.
I got one.
Yes.
What if they avoid the tax questions?
Ooh. That could be too.
Right?
And I think the one size fits all, that's another red flag, right?
Oh, yes.
Or they've got pre-done a few model portfolios or strategies, and you're going to go into one of those.
Right.
Well, wait a minute, you haven't even asked me any questions yet about how old I am and what my objectives are, what my goal, what my risk level is. So these are all red flags. I know we just kind of bombarded you there, Cynthia, with a lot.
And it makes sense because a lot of people are probably wondering, well, gosh, I have maybe felt that before. It now makes sense why it's a red flag. But what about overall communication? We know that in every aspect of our life, the communication is key. What if you're feeling that you're not being communicated with? Is that a red flag? How important is proper communication?
Yeah, well, clients need to feel heard, right?
Yes.
If there's an issue, we want to know about it. Maybe they feel uncomfortable with whatever the market is doing. To be heard and not just sloughed off, oh, don't worry about it. That's a sign of a bad advice.
Right, I think leaving a meeting, you should have a clear understanding, not a confused understanding,
100%.
Right? Clear versus confused about what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, why you're picking different strategies and such, and not that you're pressured into it, that you're confident that you made the right decision. And making the right decision is understanding and being aware of the highs and the lows. Give me the good parts, give me the bad parts, because there isn't any perfect strategy, right? If we're in the stock market, there's potential for loss. If we're in the fixed market, there's a potential for loss of gain. So having a clear understanding, I think, is so imperative to know if you're really with a good investment advisor.
Yeah, we've been in meetings together where we can tell all of a sudden we'll look over and it's a deer in headlights. People, they're not understanding. Jordan and I both come from teachers. So we'll stop. We'll use a whiteboard. We'll go
I love
back.
the whiteboard.
I do too, actually. But we'll go back and we'll look and we'll say, okay, let's rewind. Let's make sure that you have a clear understanding. We don't want anybody to leave our office without understanding exactly what we've recommended, why we've recommended it, what fees are involved in it. All of this stuff is transparent. And I think That's the biggest key to take away. Transparency is very key.
I think great advice starts with education.
Absolutely.
Right?
100%.
If your advisor is not educating you, and we talk about this all the time on our radio show, we've got a lot long, we have an hour radio show versus the 30-minute TV show. We're on every Saturday morning on AM 910.
The super station.
Yeah, the super station. There we go. From 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. That's a little confusing. AM 910 from
Okay.
9 a.m. till 10 a.m. So we have a lot of fun on the radio show, but we talk, we dive a lot more in detail with some of this.
Yeah, because we have an hour, so we have a little bit more
Yes.
that we can do. Here, we're trying to get in and get people excited about it, which they should be.
And
Yes.
we also have a lot of live events around Metro Detroit.
There you go.
We have educational workshops, and we also have dinner seminars. You can go to our website. It's mainfinancialgroup.com. Pretty easy to remember.
We have a website?
We
I didn't
do,
know that.
mainfinancialgroup.com.
Mainfinancialgroup.com.
You can listen to all of our podcasts on our radio tape shows. You can see our TV shows. You can sign up for our events. We have 5 offices now around Metro Detroit, which is
Wow.
hard to believe.
Hard
but
to
we've
believe.
got our headquarters in Brighton. We have an office in Ann Arbor, one in the Northville, Livonia, kind of I-275 corridor.
Yep.
We've got Bloomfield Hills, and we've got Troy. So we've got great advisors at all the offices. Adam and I are in Brighton most of the time, but with enough planning, I think we can accommodate any office there.
Nope.
Okay, I guess we can. So I think we're going in circles here, but at the end of the day, this was such a great show, Cynthia,
Yes.
because it's a delicate topic that a lot of advisors do not want to talk about.
No.
It's true.
And
It's true.
and a lot of clients or people in the audience maybe are uncomfortable asking these questions
Oh
to
my
their
gosh.
advisor.
Of course.
You need to ask questions. If you don't understand it, you need to ask questions. Even if it's
Yes.
with us, you need to ask questions.
Yeah, so I say everyone listening at home right now, call the phone number, click the QR code. We'd love to see you come in and give you a free written financial plan, the RIP report. We will make sure that the risk you're taking on is what you want. We will map out a guaranteed income plan, a roadmap, if you will, through retirement. We'll run your portfolio through our Morningstar stress test to make sure that, yep, there's Adam with his stress test, to make sure that you're in line. The T is a taxation. We didn't get into it this episode, but we've got a lot of great tax strategies. We'll give you a copy of our book as well, so we can't wait to see you.
Jordan, thank you so much. Adam, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the number to call in once again to book that consultation, 888-462-7839. Or you can click the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. You will have your very own customized RIP report designed just for you. And the best part, you get a copy of Jordan's book, The Main Street Millionaire. You're not going to want to miss this. Again, 888-462-7839. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. We'll see you back in a week on The Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street.